Go to your refrigerator right now. Pull out your Philadelphia cream cheese, cold, straight from the fridge. Take a butter knife and drag it through the block. Watch what happens behind the blade. It closes. The cheese seals back up like a gel. A real food holds a cut. This one heals it. That is not cream doing the work. That is 3 gums performing a job that cream used to do for free. And Kraft Heinz has been charging you cream cheese prices for a gum system for years without changing a single word on the label. William Lawrence invented cream cheese in Chester, New York in 1872 by accident. He added too much cream while trying to copy a French cheese and made something better than what he was attempting. He named it Philadelphia in 1880 because Pennsylvania had a reputation for quality dairy, and a borrowed name commands a higher price than an honest one. That was a marketing decision. What the product did next was earn it anyway. For decades, Philadelphia cream cheese was genuinely good. Cream, cultures, salt, made at scale without cutting what made it real. Then in 1928, Kraft Cheese Company acquired the brand. In 2015, Kraft merged with Heinz in a $49 billion deal engineered by 3G Capital, the same private equity operation that later ran Burger King and Tim Hortons through the same cost extraction playbook. And Philadelphia landed inside a corporation whose portfolio includes Velveeta, a product the FDA requires to be labeled pasteurized prepared cheese product, because it cannot legally be called cheese, Oscar Mayer, and Lunchables. When a corporation that measures success in margin percentage acquires food that used to measure success in quality, there is one agenda: find every place a real ingredient can be replaced with a cheaper alternative without triggering enough complaints to threaten market share. The formula does not change overnight. It changes in small, quiet increments over years. What Kraft Heinz sells in that silver wrapper today uses 3 separate gums: carob bean, xanthan, and guar, because gums cost less than cream and extend shelf life beyond what real fat can manage. A synthetic preservative keeps the cheaper oil blend from going rancid. A synthetic vitamin gets added back because the industrial process stripped out the one that was naturally in the cream. And before you even get to the salt, the ingredient list runs through 2 forms of whey, the liquid that drains away when you make real cheese, added back here as a cheap bulking agent to hit the target weight without paying for the cream that weight implies. Every person watching this who has spread Philadelphia on a toasted bagel in the last 10 years has noticed something. Not enough to name it. The way it sticks to the knife and tears instead of releasing cleanly. The film it leaves on the blade. The texture that pulls in strings rather than cutting to a smooth layer. The aftertaste that lingers slightly too long. They blamed the bagel. Too dense. Wrong toasting temperature. They tried a different bagel shop. They kept coming back to the same result and eventually decided they were simply not good at this. The problem was never the bagel. Drag a cold knife through real cream cheese, and the cut stays open because fat is doing the structural work it was designed to do. Drag a cold knife through Philadelphia, and the surface closes behind the blade because gum systems behave like stabilized gels. That film on the knife is carob bean gum, xanthan gum, and guar gum, performing the function that real cream fat used to perform for free. The Sunday morning that never felt quite right was not bad technique. Kraft Heinz sold a gum system in a silver wrapper, and the knife just proved it. The person who spent a Sunday afternoon making a cheesecake from scratch, who chose homemade specifically to avoid the ingredient list on the boxed version, used Philadelphia as the base and put every one of those gums and stabilizers into their homemade dessert without knowing it. The most careful cook in the kitchen got the most processed ingredient in the recipe. William Lawrence borrowed Philadelphia's reputation in 1880 and paid it back with a genuinely good product. Kraft Heinz took that reputation and has been paying it back in gum systems ever since. Kraft Heinz did not launch the whipped tub because customers were asking for better cream cheese. They launched it to capture a morning occasion Philadelphia Original was losing. The person who wanted something spreadable straight from the fridge without waiting, who was reaching for butter or skipping the cream cheese entirely because cold Philadelphia was too firm. The tub solved that problem. The question is, what it used to solve it? When you whip real cream, air gets trapped inside the fat structure and fat holds it because fat is physically capable of maintaining structure while remaining soft. That is the science behind every whipped dairy product that works the way it claims to. When Kraft Heinz whips a gum-thickened base, they are aerating a gel system. The gum holds the air the same way it holds everything else, chemically, not structurally. The softness is not the softness of aerated cream. It is the softness of a stabilized gel engineered to feel like aerated cream. The difference becomes visible on a warm bagel. Real whipped dairy softens and releases at temperature because fat is temperature sensitive. The whipped Philadelphia holds its aerated structure at temperature because gum systems were specifically engineered to be stable, to outperform real ingredients in exactly the conditions a real kitchen produces. Whipping also required Kraft Heinz to add stabilizers beyond the original 3-gum stack, synthetic preservatives to maintain the aerated structure, and a natural flavors listing that serves as the FDA's catch-all for more than 3,000 laboratory compounds, doing work that fresh cream flavor once did without any assistance. The tub has more additives than the brick. It was engineered to spread easily on a cold morning so you would keep buying the tub. That is a different goal than making cream cheese that tastes like cream. When the low-fat movement peaked in the 1990s, Kraft Heinz faced a straightforward business problem. Fat gives cream cheese its texture, its richness, and its spreadability. Remove the fat, and the product collapses into something grainy and wet that nobody buys voluntarily. But the health-conscious buyer was walking past the silver wrapper, and Kraft Heinz needed them back. The solution was not to make a genuinely healthier product. It was to make a product that looked like one. Low-fat Philadelphia replaces the structural work that fat was doing with a longer chemical stack than the original. Emulsifiers derived from fatty acids that mimic fat's structural function without the calories. Additional texture stabilizers, additional preservatives, and a natural flavors listing to compensate for the flavor that the fat was providing before it got removed. Every additive in the low-fat version is compensation for the ingredient that was doing the clean work. The fat was the simple ingredient. What replaced it is not. The person buying this is managing cholesterol, managing weight, managing a conversation with a doctor who told them to watch their saturated fat. They are reading the front of the label. They are making the responsible choice. The low-fat version has more chemical additives than the full-fat version. The person paying the closest attention got the worst product in the case. That is not an oversight. That is a product engineered to capture the health-conscious buyer on the front panel and assume they will never count what is on the back. Every major grocery chain sells its own cream cheese because a private label is more profitable than stocking a national brand. Kroger, Walmart, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, 365. The retailer pays less to manufacture their version than they would pay to stock Philadelphia, charges you a price that feels like a deal, and keeps a wider margin on every package. That is the entire business case for store brand cream cheese. It has nothing to do with giving you a better product. The formula reflects that priority. Every major store brand runs the same 3-gum stabilizer system as Philadelphia, the same whey protein bulking, and in most cases the same preservative stack. Trader Joe's runs the full 3-gum combination and produces what multiple tasters describe as a rubbery texture. Whole Foods 365 runs 3 gums on a base that tasters consistently describe as bland and slightly slick. The organic certification on store-brand cream cheese changes where the dairy comes from. It does not change what the gums are doing to the structure. Whole Foods 365 and a standard regional store brand contain the same core formula. Whole Foods charges more. The packaging signals health consciousness through earthy design and clean typography. The ingredient list does not. The organic badge is the same move as the low-fat front panel. A single honest claim doing cover for everything else that did not change. You are not escaping the gum system by switching to the store brand. You are paying a different company for the same system, and that company is keeping more of the margin for itself. Cream cheese was 2 ingredients, cream, salt. William Lawrence made it by accident in 1872 and did not need gums to do it. Every brand on every shelf replaced that with a chemical system because gums cost less, last longer, and the label still says cream cheese. Subscribe because now we are going to see the real and delicious cream cheese brands available to you. Green Valley Creamery built its business around one customer, the person who loved dairy and had been told their body could no longer handle it. Lactose intolerance affects an enormous share of adults over 50, and for decades those people had one option: stop eating dairy or accept the consequences. Green Valley's answer was to make real dairy products and simply remove the lactose through a natural enzyme process. What they made to solve that problem turned out to be one of the cleanest cream cheeses available anywhere. 4 ingredients: organic cream, salt, a lactase enzyme that breaks down the lactose into digestible sugars, and live active cultures. No gums, no stabilizers, no preservatives, no whey protein bulking the weight. The lactose-free positioning that sounds like a specialty product is actually the most honest formula in the mainstream dairy case. The person who switched to Green Valley because their stomach told them to and felt vaguely like they were settling for something accidentally bought the cleanest product in the case. Everyone else was reaching past it for the silver wrapper with 3 gums in it. Available at Kroger, Safeway, Whole Foods, and Sprouts. It costs more than Philadelphia. It is the most widely available no-gum option for anyone who shops at a mainstream grocery chain. Gina Marie cream cheese is made at Sierra Nevada Cheese Company, a small dairy in rural Northern California that has been making it the same way for over 50 years. Slow-cultured milk, cream, and salt, drained in muslin bags. No gums, no stabilizers, no bulking agents, no preservatives. Muslin bag draining is how cream cheese was made before the industrial supply chain required shelf stability above everything else. The bag allows whey to drain naturally over time, concentrating the cream through patience rather than chemistry. What comes out is denser, tangier, and structurally honest in a way the 3-gum system cannot replicate, because the 3-gum system is not trying to replicate it. It is trying to survive a 12-week shelf life. Run the knife test cold. The cut stays open. The cheese holds a clean edge because fat is doing the structural work. It does not close behind the blade. The kitchen ran a blind taste test of 24 cream cheese brands and named Gina Marie the best available in America. Every reviewer who has encountered it says the same thing in different words. It tastes like what cream cheese used to taste like. That is not nostalgia. That is what cream tastes like when nothing is standing in front of it. Find it at independent grocers and specialty food shops. The price is higher than Philadelphia. You are not paying for a premium version of the same product. You are paying for the product Philadelphia stopped being. Tillamook lands on our real list all the time, from ice cream to block cheese. The Tillamook County Creamery Association is a farmer-owned cooperative on the Oregon coast that has been making dairy since 1909. The cooperative model matters here because it changes the incentive structure entirely. The farmers supplying the milk are also the owners of the company. They do not answer to a private equity firm identifying cost reduction opportunities. They answer to each other, and their shared measure of success is product quality rather than margin percentage. Tillamook Farm Style uses 1 stabilizer, locust bean gum, rather than the 3-gum stack running through every Philadelphia product and every store brand in the case. 1 gum applied to a higher quality cream base produces a meaningfully different result than 3 gums applied to a bulked whey system. The flavor is tangier. The texture is richer. The ingredient list ends before you expect it to. Tillamook Farm Style won 4 gold medals at the 2025 International Cheese and Dairy Awards. It is available at most major grocery chains. It costs more than Philadelphia. For anyone who shops at the same store every week and does not want to visit a specialty grocer to stop eating gums, this is the answer that is already on the shelf. Nancy's is an Oregon cooperative making cultured dairy since 1960. They built their business around a belief that fermented dairy should do something useful for the body, not just taste acceptable and survive a long supply chain. Their organic cream cheese reflects that. Organic cream, organic skim milk, 1 stabilizer, and live probiotic cultures that actively support the same gut bacteria that the fiber in your diet was put there to feed. For a 65-plus audience managing digestion, blood sugar, or the long list of adjustments that come with paying attention to what you eat, this is a product that earns its place in the refrigerator beyond just spreading on a bagel. Kraft Heinz built Philadelphia to be stable. Nancy's built their cream cheese to be useful. Those are different goals, and the ingredient list is where you see which goal each company was actually pursuing. Available at Whole Foods, natural grocers, and increasingly at mainstream chains. It costs more than Philadelphia. It is less than $1 more per package, and that dollar is the gap between a product that supports your gut health and one that spent 60 years engineering around it. William Lawrence made cream cheese in Chester, New York in 1872 from cream and salt and accidentally made something worth keeping. He borrowed Philadelphia's reputation before the product had earned it. The product paid that debt back over the following century by being genuinely good. The company that owns it now borrowed William Lawrence's reputation in 2015 and has been paying it back with 3 gums, a whey protein filler, a synthetic preservative, and a vitamin added back after processing removes the one that came free with the cream. Go back to your refrigerator, pull out the Philadelphia, cold knife, drag it through the block. Watch the surface close behind the blade. That is 3 gums performing the function that real cream performed for free from 1872 until Kraft Heinz decided cream cost more than chemistry. The label still says Philadelphia. The knife already told you the truth. Comment B2E if you made it to the end. Subscribe to support us and check out our grocery cheat sheet available in the Built to Eat description. Thanks for watching.